Did you fail the CPA exam? Maybe it's not your fault. When it comes to a CPA candidate, there's no such thing as bad student, only bad teacher. And if you failed FAR, Audit, BEC, or REG, it may have had more to do with the CPA review instructor. So you signed up for a CPA review course and you figured that's going to be enough. I'm just going to watch some videos and I'll be able to relate to the teacher. But here's where the trouble started. They wheeled out a CPE course lecturer or some industry expert to teach you CPA review. Even though this person might have been a college professor, extremely knowledgeable, but they lacked the ability to relate to you. Remember, you got here as a CPA candidate. If you were a bad student, you would never have made it even this far. I'm Darius Clark of the I-75 CPA review course, and I would not hire a CPE course lecturer to teach you CPA review. One of the reasons why I've received more LinkedIn recommendations than anyone that you've tried to learn CPA review from is because I only work with CPA candidates. And how did I rack up all of these recommendations from so many candidates? Well, here's what happened. They signed up for Becker and the others, and they run into the same problem that you did. They couldn't relate to the professional CPE course lecturer. And they realized that they got to get on a different road. So they hit me up and they said, "Hey Darius, I need you to do for me what you've done for so many others." So I put them on I-75, and after they passed the exam, they happily came back and wrote these meaningful tributes. I'm proud of every one of these students whom I helped pass the CPA exam. I call this the I-75 Hall of Fame. The CPA exam is the black belt of the accounting profession, and the AICPA is not going to just hand you the black belt simply because you tried to learn CPA review from an industry expert. So what they do in karate is they'll have the orange belts teach white belt class, or maybe the purple belts, but not the black belts, because the black belts are going to teach brown belt class. And that's what the industry expert is, trying to teach CPA review when really they're a black belt teaching brown belts all week in CPE lectures, and now they're coming in to try to teach CPA review to a bunch of white and yellow belts, and it just doesn't work. So if you failed the CPA exam, it may be because they wheeled out a CPE lecturer who's used to teaching experts, and they had trouble relating to you, the CPA candidate. Because in a CPE class, you get credit just for sitting through the seminar. So the lecturer goes on, and then when it's over, everybody files out of the room and gets their credits just for being there. There's no test, no meaningful exam after a CPE course. And that's where the big disconnect is between a CPE lecturer and a CPA review instructor. A good CPA review instructor remembers three things all the time. These are the three things I have posted on my wall every day. One, that CPA candidates are not experts. They've forgotten as much as they ever knew. And they're not even particularly interested in the subject matter other than to pass the exam. So if you're trying to get that CPA exam black belt, here's what we do at I-75. First, we learn the basics. Then once we feel good about the basics, we walk through some simple techniques. Then we can walk a little faster once we understand the basics. Then we can run through it and maybe add some new things. And then we fly through it. Check out this trick. This is called a flying knife edge kick. Look at this guy up in the air. Think of this as one of the more sophisticated problems on the CPA exam. How do you learn how to do a problem like this? First, you got to learn the basics. Understand what you're doing and why. Then you can start to move through it slowly. Then you can move through it a little faster, and then you can fly. But if you recently failed the CPA exam, it could be because the lecturer was starting you with too sophisticated a technique and never taught you the basics. The key is you got to start here with the basic understanding of what you're doing and why. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself trying to memorize, and you can't memorize your way through something like this. And maybe that was you on the CPA exam. Maybe you tried to memorize something like this and you just didn't have any confidence on exam day. You need confidence on the day you take that CPA exam. And confidence comes from progress. You progress from the basics, from the understanding of what am I doing and why, to, okay, let me practice what I learned. Let me do it a little faster. And now I feel like I'm ready on exam day. Because remember, when it comes to a CPA candidate, there's no such thing as bad student, only bad teacher. If you like this video, you're welcome to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And when you're ready, you can email me right here, and I'll get back to you personally. Our monthly I-75 subscription includes all 4 parts, not just one part. And yes, I will save a spot for you right here in the I-75 Hall of Fame.